Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A 16-year-old girl is in police custody, suspected of lighting a fire which tore through a unit early this morning. Neighbours say in the space of just 20 minutes, the East Devonport property was completely engulfed.
Once a humble residence, now entirely unlivable. Windows and guttering reduced to burnt rubble, the lasting marks of what police say was a targeted arson attack.
I believe the unit is completely destroyed. It's disappointing it's got to this point.
Neighbours awoke to the smell and sounds of the fire around 4 a.m. this morning.
There was a bang and it just went.
Fearing the 3 adjacent units could be next to catch alight.
They tried to evacuate us and then they said it was too cold.
I would obviously like to thank the people for their quick action and the phone calls they made to help save the rest of the units within that complex.
Works have begun to repair the gutted unit. Fire investigators estimate the damage bill sits at $180,000. Authorities don't yet know how the fire started, but thankfully the occupant of the home was away when it took hold. A 16-year-old girl has been arrested and is currently being questioned by police.
There are further inquiries being made in relation to potential other people involved.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Thousands of Tasmanian students will walk back into their classrooms tomorrow for the first time in more than a month. But our schools will not look the same, with teachers taking precautionary measures to keep children safe and leaving parents with a simple warning.
It's empty now, but this school ground will look very different tomorrow morning when primary school students finally return. And new safety precautions will start right here at the front gate.
And one teacher will stand here and then the students will come in.
Students can expect a lot more hand washing, cleaning and social distancing, with assemblies, trips and inter-school activities all still cancelled. Despite no new coronavirus cases in Tasmania for 8 days now, teachers have warned parents not to hang around at school drop-off.
We really want them to stop, drop and go, which means not standing around, to having a chat to people they haven't seen for a while and moving right away from the school building.
Colleges also returning tomorrow before high schools start on June 9. Teachers preparing to go back to some sense of normality.
There's definitely some mixed feelings. I think teachers, especially the primary school teachers, are really keen to get their kids back in the classroom. It's been hard for some teachers over the last few weeks having to deal with kids at home and kids at school.
They'll be working with the students and indeed the parents and then all the school community to ensure that our students, if they have missed out on a bit of learning, then that can be picked up as quickly as possible.
And for parents who've spent the last few months homeschooling, teachers left this message.
It hasn't been perfect and we weren't expecting it to be perfect, and I think that they should be really happy, and now that they can give their kids back to us, and our teachers and educators will do their best to continue on with their learning.
Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
A 20-year-old woman has suffered serious injuries after falling from the tray of a vehicle near Gawler. The incident occurred at 8:30 last night on a private property on West Gawler Road. The Ulverston woman was airlifted to the Royal Hobart Hospital in a critical condition. Police are investigating the incident. Tasmania's peak motoring body has called for a long-awaited inner-city ferry network to be fast-tracked. RACT says Bellreef to Hobart service would help create jobs and investment as the state recovers from the coronavirus pandemic. The government says it's right now reviewing its infrastructure budget and the ferry's timeline is being considered.
That'll be part of the mix, and so anything that we can bring forward that will add that extra stimulus to our Tasmanian economy and support our Tasmanian community, then we will do that.
We don't need to build it to be the biggest and best thing right now. Let's trial it, get it working, get people used to the change in moving around the city, and then we can build from there.
RACT says the ferries will also help aid congestion, especially as traffic begins to return to pre-coronavirus levels. There's renewed hope the iconic Taste of Tasmania festival could still go ahead at the end of the year. Hobart City Council officers had recommended the event be scrapped due to coronavirus uncertainty. But the Premier has hit back again, calling on the council to defer its decision until he discusses the event's future with the Mayor this week. Peter Gutwin said he's positive the festival can still run under a new safe model. After nearly 2 months of hospitality shutdowns, many Tasmanian businesses have reopened their doors this week. Some owners already reporting being fully booked out under reduced seating regulations.
Getting back to normal, a birthday celebration here at this popular restaurant. St Albie also celebrating its first weekend open after 2 months of empty tables.
It has been so busy. We've been booked out. We're booked out the following weekend and the weekend after. So it's, obviously we can only have a certain amount of people, but it has been really successful for us.
Closing at the end of March, along with other businesses, amid government shutdowns due to the pandemic. Hospitality spots allowed to open on Monday, with cleaning and social distancing restrictions still in place.
Because we are such a large space, we're really fortunate that it can have 1.5 metre distance between each table.
These measures, as well as the 10 customer cap, also implemented at Room for a Pony.
For the moment, it's just, controlling numbers, making sure everything's clean, sanitised. Tables spaced out, we've removed tables, obviously, all of those regulations are being followed.
Like St Albie, the restaurant is only taking bookings, already experiencing its pre-coronavirus rush.
Well, we've been booked out all day, every day so far, so it's been good, flat out.
Business also picking up at Dandy Lane, extending the cafe to 2 rooms to keep up with the growing demand.
Past weeks we are picking up speed since the restriction is loosened, especially these 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, blow us mind.
It's expected the customer cap will extend to 20 on June 15. Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmanian News.
Tasmanians who offer their time and support to the community have been acknowledged as National Volunteer Week wraps up for another year. This year's theme, Changing Communities, Changing Lives, to pay thanks to those who keep services going. More than 2,000 locals have recently registered with Volunteering Tasmania's emergency crew, with many helping during the COVID-19 pandemic. Unlike most years, current restrictions have limited events to celebrate the week. A young Hobart boatie has transferred his sailing skills to the screen, becoming the state e-sailing champion. 19-year-old Will Sargent from the Derwent Sailing Squadron was crowned the winner after 5 rounds of racing. He'll now represent Tasmania in the upcoming Australian e-sailing national championships.
Good evening. Hobart reached 11 degrees today, Launceston 13 and 14 degrees in both Burnie and Devonport. 14 at Flinders Island, Smithton, Lowhead and St Helens. Friendly beaches, Ouse and Strahan a top of 12, 11 degrees at Maria Island and Grove and just 7 in Lyawini. Low-level cloud around the southern half of the state today along the east coast and through the southern Tamar Valley. Elsewhere was mostly cloud-free. Mid to low-level cloud sits over much of Victoria, New South Wales, inland Queensland and coastal South Australia. Tomorrow shows a high pressure system moving across Tasmania, while a low pressure system in the Tasman Sea continues to weaken. Winds south to southeasterly 10 to 20 knots, becoming light in the west during the morning. Lighter winds at inland lakes sees 2 to 3 metres in the west and south. A frost warning is in place for parts of the northwest coast, central north and upper Derwent Valley. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast now, Hobart 12 and partly cloudy, 12 degrees also in Dover and Ouse. Mostly sunny and 13 in Launceston, a top of 13 expected in Devonport and Scottsdale also. Burnie sunny and 13, morning frost and 12 in Strahan, mostly sunny in Stanley. A light shower or 2 in St Helens, 13 and cloudy in Swansea and 11 in Ross. On Tuesday, possible showers about the upper east coast, fine elsewhere. Wednesday, patches of morning frost in the south, showers about the northwest and central areas, mainly fine elsewhere. And Thursday, showers again in the northwest and central areas, mainly fine also. Around the country tomorrow, 14 and partly cloudy in Canberra, Adelaide 14 also, Sydney showers and windy, Darwin 30 and sunny and a top of 15 in Melbourne. It's currently 9 degrees in Hobart, Launceston also 9 and clear, and Devonport 8. And that's all in weather tonight, Rach.
Wonderful, thank you for that, Letitia. Well, finally tonight, one lucky Tasmanian managed to capture a close-up view of a whale cruising along the surface of the water. Spotting the creature at Storm Bay in the Derwent Estuary in the state's southeast. The video was posted to Facebook group Whale Spotting Tasmania. Yeah, very close encounter. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe. Good night.